Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I am Luke Owen. Yesterday we weren't just breaking All Elite Wrestling tour date news, we also sat down on the phone with former World Heavyweight Champion Christian to talk about his new show Night Fight and his wrestling career, as well as talking about scrapped plans for when he returned to WWE in 2009, like a feud with CM Punk, and thoughts on his recent retirement. Christian opened up about scrapped tag team plans for him and Edge in 2011, which would have happened if it wasn't for Edge's untimely retirement at WrestleMania 27.
I think the plan was at the time for Edge to lose the title to Del Rio, and then he and I would kind of rekindle our tag team and go on a run with that, and then eventually split off and feud. That was, I think, the intended destination for that.
You can hear the full interview by subscribing to WrestleTalk's Wrestle Ramble podcast for free, which also contains exclusive rambling intros and outros to the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT reviews. Christian also spoke to us about his thoughts on All Elite Wrestling and whether or not he'd consider working for them if an offer came up. And it was good news yesterday for AEW, as they sold out all of their pre-sale tickets for May's Double or Nothing event in around 25 minutes. The show, which will feature Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega 2, the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers, Hangman Page versus Pac, and more, will likely sell out when tickets go on general sale tomorrow. Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks tweeted, "I think we need to try one in a bigger building," which his brother Nick corrected in a reply, noting they should try a stadium next time. And in news that will likely surprise no one, Chris Jericho has announced he will be partnering with All Elite Wrestling for his second cruise, titled Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea Part 2, The Second Wave. Jericho made the announcement of the cruise, which will set sail in January 2020, with a video on Twitter.
Alright, it's the news that everyone's been talking about. Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea Part 2, The Second Wave, is getting ready to go, along with thousands of the friends of Jericho and me, sailing across the ocean to have the best vacation of a lifetime. I want to tell you right now, the hottest wrestling promotion in the world today, All Elite Wrestling, will be there. That's right, some of the greatest rock and roll bands in the world, some of the funniest comedians on the planet, paranormal experiences where you'll be wondering, is this really happening? Well, the answer is yes. It is really happening, and so is Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea Part 2, Second Wave.
While obviously there is time for this all to change, there was no mention of Ring of Honor in that video announcement, who were the official partner of the first Jericho cruise, which might tell us a lot about the potential relationship between AEW, Ring of Honor, and crucially New Japan. And New Japan crowned a new IWGP Heavyweight Champion at their New Beginning show yesterday, when Switchblade Jay White pinned Hiroshi Tanahashi to win the title for the first time. White has had his critics during his rise to the top of New Japan since his push started at Wrestle Kingdom 12 last year, but New Japan clearly have a lot of faith in him, as he will also be headlining the G1 Supercard show at Madison Square Garden over WrestleMania weekend against the winner of the New Japan Cup, which kicks off on March 9th. Someone who won't be headlining this Sunday's Elimination Chamber, if reports are to be believed, is Mustafa Ali. Ali was set to be part of the Elimination Chamber match for Daniel Bryan's Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, and Jeff Hardy. But a new report from Fightful has put that in doubt. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com, Ali has suffered numerous bumps and bruises recently, including a tailbone injury he's been working through since the Royal Rumble, a swollen eye via Randy Orton on last week's SmackDown, and another injury at a live event over the weekend, which Mike Johnson of PW Insider is claiming was a concussion. Sapp claims that Ali's mounting injuries have proven too much, and WWE is pulling him from Elimination Chamber. While PW Insider are conversely reporting WWE is currently working on a potential replacement for Ali in the Elimination Chamber this Sunday should Ali not be cleared, but no decision will be made until at least tomorrow. Johnson adds in his report that Ali will be evaluated by WWE's medical team ahead of SmackDown tonight, where he is currently planned to be part of a gauntlet match with the other members of Sunday Sunday's Chamber. And perhaps this can play into PW Insider's other report, which says that Luke Harper is set to return to SmackDown for tonight's show. Harper hasn't been seen on TV since August last year, when he was part of the Bludgeon Brothers losing their titles to the New Day following SummerSlam. It was revealed that both Harper and Rowan were out with injuries, with Rowan returning at the Royal Rumble last month to help Daniel Bryan retain his WWE Championship, while there have been lots of reports that Harper has been at the WWE Performance Center training for his return. And before we get out of here, we wanted to quickly remind you that WrestleLeague Season 1 is still in effect for this Sunday's Elimination Chamber, where you can compete against Ollie, Laurie, and myself in Prediction War. Who knows the most? I mean, it probably won't be us, as we're really average at predictions. So you can at least guarantee you'll be better than us. What's that? There was big title changes on Raw last night. Check out Ollie's review by clicking the video on screen right now. And become one of our pledge hammers by clicking the Patreon icon. I've been Luke Owen, and that was wrestling.